And good afternoon. Welcome to Open Studios right here on DSTV channel 263. My name is Pimelo Mhlanga, aka the P Master, and I'm your host for today's show. Now, on today's show, we are being joined by the Tableview Lions Club, and of course, the district governor is here on studio. This is a non-profit organization that has been helping the needy for decades, and today we're going to be finding out and learning more about them right here on the show. Mr. Ricky, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we actually get into speaking about Tableview, I would like us firstly to introduce yourself to our viewers and let them know about the role that you play in the Tableview Lions Club.
Okay, so my name is Rocky, and I've been a Lion for 23 years. Started off up in Joburg, and now I'm with Tableview for the last 10 years. In the club this year, I don't hold a function because I'm the district governor and I work at a higher level at the district area. So in fact, I'm far too busy to have a function in the club.
Yeah.
So, but I have held every function in the club except for treasurer and secretary.
All right. Now, tell us about the Tableview Lions Club. What is the club about, and what type of work does the organization do?
Okay, so Tableview Lions Club is like any other Lions Club in the country. There's 140 clubs in South Africa, and our motto is we serve, and what we say is where there's a need, there's a lion. So we do a multitude of different things. We basically change people's lives in a positive fashion. So we deal with the kids at Orion. We go and visit them once a week. We do food collections. We test the kids at junior school for their eyesight and arrange spectacles for them. We give older people hearing aids. We do a multitude of things.
Yeah.
Basically, if there's a need and we can assist, we do that.
Yeah. All right. Now, I hear that you mentioned that there is a number of positions that you've actually held up until the one of being a district governor. Take us through, that journey of you. Is that what it is about when you enter into the club? Is it about growing in it into the organization?
Okay, so really, a Lions Club is very much structured like a business. It's like a small business. So you have a president, like a CEO of the club, and then you have a treasurer, secretary, and then you have managers of the different portfolios, fundraising, projects, membership, those type of things. And basically, when you join a Lions Club, you join as a normal Lion, and as time goes on, you get offered a position in the sort of management role. Generally, what we do is when you come into the club, we try and get you involved as soon as possible. We try and get you to do a project of sorts, something that interests you preferably. Yeah. And then we see how you operate in terms of getting the project done. How can you organize? Are you structured, etc. And then once you've proven yourself in that type of situation, then you become the treasurer or you become the membership chairman. Yeah. And then you become the vice or the vice president for the club, and then become the president. And that's that's at club level. And then once you get out of club level, you then move into what we call zone area. So there's a lot of clubs in a zone. Yeah. So if you think about a corporate company made up a whole lot of different departments, if you want to call it that. Yeah. So like, for example, in the zone that we're in, there are 7 clubs that are in that zone. And then a whole lot of zones make up a district. So there are different structures, very much like in the corporate world. There's different structures at the different levels as you climb up the ladder. Yeah.
So what I'm understanding from you is that all this is different clubs actually working in collaboration to actually make a difference and provide help to people. Now, tell me about when exactly did you begin with the Tableview Lions Club, and what actually pulled you towards doing this type of work of wanting to actually give back to the community?
Okay, I was invited. You have to be invited to become a member of the Lions Club. I was invited back in '95, back in Benoni, as I said, and when I came to Cape Town, started my own business in 2008. Then transferred from that club down to Tableview. And for me, to be able to have a positive impact on somebody's life for me is just amazing.
Yeah.
And it's really, I get goosebumps when I can put a pair of spectacles on a young kid's face and they can read again. Or, I mean, one of the examples I can give you is we gave a lady her hearing aid, and she came back to us about 3 days later to say that she'd forgotten what it sounded like to hear the sausages sizzling in her pan.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just amazing. You know,
It really
is the kind of stuff that we can do, that we are, you know, where we can give back to the community.
Yeah, well, I can imagine how exciting that whole experience must be. It sounds like
it's amazing.
Very much amazing. And for the fact that you've been there from 1995.
Yeah.
I was not even born by that time. Like that is a very long period of time. Now take us through some of the awards of recognition that you have received throughout your time in it. How does, because as you say that you were members get invited to be a part of the organization, and as part of also doing the work that you do within the organization, one actually is acknowledged for that.
Yes, and as you go through life as a lion, you do get different awards. Personally, I'm not in lines for awards, but I have been given some very important awards. I've been given locally it's called the Louis Fawkes Award. The Merriman Club awarded me with that for the amount of service and the support I gave them. But when I was up in still back in Gauteng, I was given the Melvin Jones Fellowship, which is the highest award any lion can be given. And so that was, for me, just so special.
All right, no, this really is amazing. Now we're going to be going to an ad break right now. When you come back to it, you're going to be getting into the second segment of the show. And of course, you're going to be learning more about the Tableview Lions Club. So make sure that you're going to be staying tuned in right here. We'll be right back on DSTV channel 263. Welcome back to Open Studios here on DSTV channel 263. Just in case you just joined us on the show, we are joined by Mr. Rocky Wright, coming to you from the Tableview Lions Club. Mr. Rocky, welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much.
All right, now before the break, we established your role into the organization. Now you hold the highest portfolio as the district governor of the organization. Now tell us about what will be your main focus, or rather, what is your main focus during the time you're going to be holding the portfolio?
Okay, interesting question. I've got various focus areas in my year, and we only get 1 year to do everything. I've been for training across at Las Vegas. We spent a couple of days across there, and of course I had some training before I left here. Yeah. To basically prepare me to be the district governor. And when you are overseas, they give you some goals to go for. You set your own goals, and there are 5 areas of focus in terms of service that we need to look at. Yeah. And then we need to look at membership, because without membership, we don't have any kind of organization. Yeah, true. And I'm specifically looking at succession planning this year. So that we can put new people into the leadership positions going forward, and basically regenerate all the clubs. Yeah. Because there are a lot of clubs with a lot of older generation in them. Yeah. And we need to do something about bringing in the younger crowd in order to keep the whole association going. And one of my other areas of focus is what we call alert. And that is preparing ourselves to be ready for any kind of catastrophe. Yeah. And I'm not sure how much you know about lions worldwide, but if you go and have a look at any catastrophe anywhere in the world, the Japanese floods, any of you'll find that within 48 hours, there are a whole bunch of people there with yellow jackets on, sorting things out, and they are the lions. They're the lions. So we need to, here in South Africa, and specifically in Cape Town and Namibia, which is the area I have that I'm responsible for, we need to get ready in case for anything. And you know, we're not going to be holding the hoses to put the fires out. Yeah. We're going to be counting the water and seeing enough water there, making sure there's sandwiches being in the background and helping out. And that's the kind of function that we'll be doing from an alert point of view. Yeah. Just to support for the people that are in the front line.
All right. Now you did mention that for one to actually be a member, it is by invite.
Yes.
Right. So tell us about how do you look into inviting members? How do you headhunt them? Like, do you identify a specific person and say, okay, and ask them, or, like, how does the process actually work?
Well, there's various ways of getting in to become a Lion. One is obviously if you know somebody's in the Lions Club and you approach them and you say, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
I'd like to join you, type of thing. Then you come along, and basically the sort of format is to attend one or two projects, either a fundraising or a service project. Then come to a meeting, see if you fit in with everybody, see if that you're at home, you're relaxed, and then we make you a member. But we've just recently started a program which we call the 2020 team, where we have gone to the leaders in the community and asked them, because they've already got a whole group of people behind them, and explained to them what Lions is all about. And they've got really excited about it, and we've managed to open up clubs in Athlone, Mitchell's Plain, Dragonstein, Robertson. It's just fantastic. We've had a lot of success in that area. By doing it that way.
Now I'm also understanding that it is an international organization.
Correct.
Is that so? Because I'm looking at the fact that you go overseas for training, and as well as you've been saying that there's always a response, people who are responding to the time when it is much needed. Tell us about some of the most memorable experience in South Africa. Some of the most memorable events that took place that where Lions actually jumped and they were there to ensure that they provided help when it was needed at the time.
Okay, well, there's a couple of instances. We've got the Gordons Bay Club that is already ready. They've got all their systems in place, so when there's a fire on the mountains in Gordons Bay, they've got a WhatsApp group. They just phone each other. Everybody knows what they've got to do, and they rush into action. But we had the fires in Hout Bay, and Lions Clubs International gave $10,000 within 48 hours to assist there.
That is.
And then when we had the fires down on down George Way, where was that? Anyway, what happened was all the clubs in the whole of South Africa either donated goods, clothing, food, that type of stuff, or money in order to help the families, etc., that are down in that area. So those are the kind of things that we've done in the recent past. We do other things. We do other projects. We helped out with the Blisters for Bread. We did all the marshalling there. We assisted Pick and Pay with their food collection. They collected food for 600,000 people.
Wow.
And so we do quite a lot of. We also do marshalling for the Rotarians. They do the marathon, Cape Marathon. They do the cycle race. So we assist there. So we get involved wherever we are needed. Really, at the end of the day.
Well, it seems like you guys are actually doing so much, as you just mentioned, right, and also getting yourself involved in so many projects. It's quite frankly amazing. And I'm also interested briefly, let us know how do you actually source funds, because as you say that when there's an incident, different clubs actually send through funds. Like, where do the clubs actually source their fundings?
Okay, each club has their own fundraising efforts, and basically they raise funds from the public. But the difference between Lions and most other organizations, in fact, probably every other organization, is that we run two accounts. The funds that we raise from the public, 100% of that goes back to the community.
Wow.
So the money that we raise to run the club comes from ourselves as members. So we pay to be a member. And then, as I say, we raise the funds. Generally what we do is if we have a dance, then you say we're raising the funds for childhood cancer. And if you give the public the reason why you're raising the money, generally they're more generous. If you just say I'm raising funds for children, then you do get more money for children than anything else. But we raise, we're preparing to donate a dog for the blind. This year we're looking at raising the funds. We've got another 50,000 to go, so we're trying to raise that money. But yeah, that's how we do it.
All right, man. Now we're going to be going to an ad break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into the very last segment of the show. So make sure that you stay tuned in right here with us on Cape Town TV, Open Studios, DSTV, channel 263. Welcome back to the very last segment of the show, Open Studios here on DSTV channel 263. And of course, we're now going to be wrapping everything else up with the Tableview Lions Club, Mr. Rocky here on studio. Now, before the break, we actually touched base on the number of projects. You mentioned the project, the fundraising that you did with Pick and Pay, and as well you've mentioned a number of other initiatives that you have been involved with. Now, take us through the I1. You mentioned earlier on that there was actually also an amazing thing that managing to actually see someone getting the spectacles and whatnot. Take us through the Nights of Blind project. There is that project as well that is also a part of many others that you guys are actually being involved in. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've been involved with that probably since 1925 as Lions. You know, Lions have been around for 101 years now.
That's a very long time.
So they founded in Chicago in 1917. So yeah, it's quite interesting that we're now the largest service organization in the world. 46,000 clubs in over 200 countries.
That is
so it's quite phenomenal that it all started with one man's dream back in the days. And perhaps before I go any further, just to share with you that we have the first lady international president in 101 years has been inducted into a position this year.
That is
so you know, it's taken us 101 years to put a lady in charge. But I've met her personally. She is an amazing lady. But yeah, anyway, to get back to your question, basically we have a company up in Benoni called Operation Brightside. And what we do is we collect old glasses from people that don't need their glasses anymore. We collect them and we send them up to Operation Brightside. They grade them and they put them into categories, etc. And then all the clubs around the country they do a site project, and then they get the different eyesight requirements, and we send that to the prescriptions up to Operation Brightside, and then they match it with the person's face because we send a photograph with, and then they send the glasses back again. So an indigent person would get a pair of glasses for about $200 for the whole thing. So, and generally then the club would pay for that anyway.
That's very cool. And I must say, getting back to what you mentioned about actually having a woman for the very first time, I believe that is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, at last.
It really is. And as you're saying, 101 years for the club to get there. It's absolutely amazing. Now, also tell us about the initiative you did with Pick and Pay. I mean, providing 600,000 people with food. How are we also going to be seeing you guys actually doing more of a project of food security projects of that nature going forward?
Okay, well, every club has got its own food project anyway. You know, we're feeding people every day. Mitchell's Plain have got soup kitchens. I think about 90% of the clubs have soup kitchens, or they're supplying sandwiches to schools where the kids are hungry. Now every day, and that's beside the Pick and Pay project. So the Pick and Pay project, they approached us and asked us to help them collect food over a particular weekend, which we did, and then we had to go and help them pack it at Century City, which we also did. And obviously around the country they had other packing areas. And we'll see what happens next year. It was a Mandela project that we assisted with, and we'll see if they offer it to us again next year. It'll be a fantastic opportunity for us. But we're hoping that they will include us next year with their project.
All right. No, absolutely. Now, let us know how could people actually be able to see your works, be able to get a hold of the organization, and anyone else as well who's interested in wanting to find out more about how they could also be involved with the Lions.
Okay, It's fairly easy. We've got a website. If you just Google Lions Clubs International, all the different clubs come up. You can then find a club in your area. You could then approach them. All the telephone numbers and everything are all there.
Yeah.
You could get hold of. We have a district office here in Cape Town. It's also on the web. So there's many ways to do to actually. That is actually the easiest way to do it, is to go via the internet.
Yeah. So you say the website is again?
It's lionsclubsinternational.org.
Or lionsclubsinternational.org. Well, thank you so much for taking your time and coming through, letting us know about the work you do. It's very amazing to see that, and it's so also amazing just as much to see how much you take pride in the Lions, in the organization itself, and the amazing work it is actually doing for the community. Thank you so much for joining us on studio.
It's a privilege for me to be a Lion.
All right. And also thank you guys as well for staying tuned into us in the show. It was an absolutely amazing one, and I'm hoping you guys absolutely learned as much as possible from today's show. They say where there's a need, there is a lion. Visit their website to find out more information about the type of work that they do. And of course, if you'd also like to find out more information about our show, do go to our Facebook page. That is, of course, Cape Town TV. From myself, Pimelo Mhlanka, aka the P Master, and everybody else from the Cape Town TV crew, it is goodbye.